Good morning. My name is Gianluca Santi and I'm the General Manager of Business Development and Corporate Communication of the Unipol Group. The first quarter results have been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and by the relating lockdown, which started on the 9th of March in Italy, being the only partially loosened at the beginning of May. The effects of the crisis are still difficult to foresee, given the ever-changing situation. Unipol pre-tax result showed a decrease from 237 million euro in first quarter 19 to 191 million in first quarter 20, driven down by the life and holding and other sectors, only partially offset by the contribution of non-life. The decreasing result of life and holding and other sectors was mainly due to the lower contribution of the financial component. The consolidated net result was 134 million in Unipol, 171 million in the first quarter 19, and 171 million in UnipolSai, 184 million in the first quarter 19. Total non-life premiums decreased by 1.5% year-on-year to 2 billion. Motor premiums decreased by 2% and non-motor by 1% compared to this time last year. Looking at the three ecosystems, mobility recorded a decline of 0.9%, welfare a minus 3.4%, and property a drop of 1.3%. No significant change was recorded in the composition of the distribution channels, with agents collecting around 80% of the total income. Combined ratio after reinsurance was 92.0%, compared with 94.6% in first quarter 19. Combined ratio of direct business came in at 90%. 93.4% this time last year. On the life side, total premiums declined by 13.2% to 1.1 billion, suffering from the COVID-19 lockdown and the subsequent economic crisis. UnipolSai collection held up, while bank insurance was more impacted by the crisis. Hybrid products, which are made up of a traditional and a linked component, continue to represent the majority of the portfolio. In terms of life yields, we registered a good profitability with the gap between average yield and minimum guaranteed on segregated accounts remaining strong and steady at 216 basis points. The guaranteed yield across the backbook has been consistently decreasing, given that the majority of new products is sold with a minimum guaranteed yield of 0%. Total investments were 55.5 billion at market value. In terms of asset allocation, bonds represented 86% of the portfolio, with Italian govies weighing 48% of total investments. Financial yields from the insurance activities remain solid, with an overall running yield at 3%. The duration of the assets was 6 years, 3.3 in non-life and 7.3 in life. The total value of the real estate portfolio stood at 3.9 billion, of which 55% allocated to non-life sector, 36% to real estate, and the rest between life and other sectors. Let's now turn to the NPE business. In the first 3 months, Unipol Rec was able to reduce gross loans by 122 million, with collections for 36 million, and maintaining a satisfactory recovery rate of 29%. In the first quarter 2020, net loans amounted to 488 million, with a coverage of 85%. The profitability trend remained good, with a net result of 1.9 million in the period. The capital positions of Unipol and UnipolSai remain solid and within the comfort range, although the solvency ratios, both, were affected by the negative performance of the financial market. The ratio for Unipol using a partial internal model was 155%. The UnipolSai consolidated ratio on economic capital basis was 200%, while the ratio for UnipolSai solo, using a partial internal model, was 226%. That brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. Let me remind you that our group CEO and general manager will be pleased to take any questions from financial analysts and institutional investors during the conference call scheduled today at noon CEST.